Oh God, here we go.
Is that not what the experience of watching 1917 felt like?
We're getting ahead of ourselves. Hey guys, what's up?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Sweet Christ.
We are Crosscut Cinema. This
Watch
is our
movies.
podcast. We watch movies.
I'm Madison.
I think my dogs are barking in the distance.
I got really distracted by Mila. They didn't like it.
They didn't like that.
Well, I think it was you moving your chair, but maybe, who knows? I don't know.
I'm Bree.
I'm Frani.
I went already.
That little bark you hear in the
I was
distance is
laughing at the
Mila.
mark.
Did you say your name?
This is Logan. I was getting to it.
You sound so upset right now.
We've been
I'm a little
practicing
upset.
ASMR in
You're
the
acting
mics.
like we just didn't. We weren't just having like, it's so inauthentic right now because we were just having a normal conversation. And then we hit record and you were like, okay, time to be upset.
It's because of what you asked me to do for the beginning of the recording is what upset me.
What, to go?
Yeah. Like I don't like the ASMR stuff, and you guys keep being like, put your headphones on, listen to it. And I'm just like, oh my God.
We've been practicing.
But that's what it feels like to watch 1917. Just a really long, like,
Just a giant raspberry. Just-
yeah.
And a really long nap.
Fun fact. It seems like you guys probably already know this. We didn't like 1917.
We didn't like it.
Not a single person in this room.
Nope.
I
nope.
got drunk as hell.
And it's gonna win
I
Best
fell
Picture.
asleep.
This bitch Brie went up to the bar and was like, let me get 2 drinks.
I said,
And-
I'm going to finish one and I'm going to want another. And this bar is closing in like 10 minutes and I need
And the
relief.
entire time, Logan was just begging me to leave.
every
Yes.
single...
I kept looking over at her because eventually I realized, oh no, this is like boring.
And I was bored as well, but I was just trying to stick it out to the end. And also, I knew that Benedict Cumberbatch was going to be in it. And Logan has this thing where he thinks that I hate Benedict Cumberbatch.
Madison has this thing where she's not coming to terms with the fact that she doesn't like Benedict
I
Cumberbatch.
like Benedict Cumberbatch fine.
Name 2 movies that you were happy he was in.
The fucking, what is it, Imitation Game? Is that the name of that movie?
Okay, that's an easy one. Go ahead, number 2.
And I guess 1917.
See what I'm saying?
The
Yeah,
Hobbit.
see what I'm saying?
The Hobbit? I don't really care
was-
about The Hobbit.
He was schmelg.
But he was the dragon. So I feel like you would be
I know
glad that
who
he
he
was the
was.
dragon in
What?
the movie.
Like the voice?
No, I mean, like, yes,
no,
but like...
he
no,
put
he
on
was the literal
prosthetics.
dragon.
I
like,
did not
that was
watch
him.
The Hobbit, even though there is a Lord of the Rings poster right behind you, Madison. That's just because it's vintage.
But yeah, Logan thinks that I don't like Benedict Cumberbatch, and
I know
so
you don't.
I think he's fine.
Exactly.
And that doesn't mean that I hate him.
I think that there's unkind thoughts, but you don't have
There-
anything to validate them in full. So you're like, he's okay.
I have occasional unkind thoughts. It just depends on what he does in that movie. But anyway, like regardless, I was like, well, let's just wait until Benedict Cumberbatch comes. And then, which is what Benedict Cumberbatch's ladies do.
Ew.
Am I right?
I hate everything about that.
They leave right after.
Yeah, they just wait and then they just get up and walk out.
Benedict coming.
But I didn't realize that.
Eggs Benedict crumple snatch.
I didn't realize that it was going to be so late in the movie.
Beneficial
Oh my god!
cucumber.
Shut the fuck up. Every single time, like a new man would come on the screen, I'm just like,
And there were a lot of
Please
men
be
coming on that
Benedict.
screen.
there were so many men. There wasn't a female in this movie, was
There
there?
was.
Oh, I was asleep. I chose to nap.
It was a surrogate wife and baby he had to desert because they needed to have you feel emotions.
I thought he was in hell at that point. Also,
That would be too much of
That's
a.
so funny,
That'd be too
like-
much of a film to make a decision like that.
Allison,
That'd be a movie.
Allison
They would
Bechdel.
have a plot.
Allison Bechdel, my lesbian
Icon.
icon. Thank you. I forgot the word. She would hate this movie.
Just her lesbian. That's all she meant to say.
Just my
Does
lesbian.
not pass the Bechdel test.
My
Does
lesbian.
not pass the Bechdel test.
She
In
didn't
which-
like it.
Why?
Who was she?
Can you
The
explain why
Bechdel
for the
test
people listening?
is,
I know it is. I just don't know if everyone
I don't
knows.
know. I don't know who this
so
bitch is.
basically a movie passes the Bechdel test if it involves 2 women talking to each other about something that is not a man.
For like more than 5 minutes.
I think it's even less than that. Isn't it less than
I
5
think
minutes?
it's less than that. The bar's really low.
It's
I think
really
it's like
low.
30 seconds.
Yeah,
Is
it's
it
like
30
it's something.
seconds?
It's something like really arbitrary
Ooh.
and small.
We
Yeah.
talked about it in my queer studies class.
That's right, guys. Bridget I studied the queers.
I've studied the queers. Actually, I only studied the queers for like half a semester because I dropped out that semester.
I feel like in a
Wow,
way,
Bridget studied the queers and she was like,
I feel
this
like
is
in a
too
way
much for
this
me.
podcast
She was like,
is
"This
a
is
study
me."
of the queers.
It is in a way.
It is definitely at least a dive into the queers.
I mean, we definitely investigate if there's gay rights.
I mean, I will say this for 1917. Despite all its shortcomings, there were gay rights
Absolutely.
I did
there were gay
remember
rights.
that. In my drunken stupor, I did remember that there were gay rights.
there. It was like lame.
Didn't you have one? How drunk were you?
She
You
had
like,
2 drinks.
She's a lightweight.
I'm a
dude.
lightweight.
And she's
like,
a Bridget-sized human.
Why did you?
That's
have,
a very
you had
small
2 drinks
human.
at a bar that closed at like 10 minutes after we got there. How'd you do that?
I ordered 2 drinks when I came in, and I
Jesus
carried
Christ.
them in, and then I sat on the opposite side of Madison so I could have 2 armrests.
You Charlie 40 hands, 1917. You double fisted it.
Yes.
Jesus
And the
Christ!
bartender
You had
didn't
no
even
faith.
blink.
Who is Charlie 40 Hands?
It's a game. It's a you.
Well, I know what it is, but I've never heard her called Charlie.
It's a for all the emo kids out there. It's a Hollywood Undead reference as well as the game where you have the 40.
Yeah, but I've always heard it called Edward 40 Hands.
Yeah. But the Charlie 40 hands is a little emo reference for those out there who got down with the undead.
Whatever, fuck off.
It's a 7th grade thing. It's fine.
Yeah, you drinking 40s in the 7th grade.
Clearly, you didn't hang out with me in 7th grade. Sorry, Dad.
Obviously not. My mom wouldn't let me.
You wouldn't have let you.
Correct.
I was a terrible person in 7th grade. I wouldn't be friends with me. You
I
grow.
think everyone
you
was a
learn.
terrible person in 7th grade, to be honest.
Not me.
Probably.
I was an angel.
I very much
That's
doubt
not
that.
true.
I could tell. I could tell.
Wow.
Because you're being too sweet on yourself, so you must have been like a really bad 7th grader.
No, I mean, I was fine. I think it was normal. I did just
One-
straight up end a friendship in 7th grade, though. I like straight up told
I
these-
love this story.
Me and my good friend were just tired of the drama that this friend group was bringing, and so we called them together. We did like a 3-way call or whatever, and we were like, "Hi, we just want to like let you know that we're not friends anymore," and then we weren't. What's going on?
She keeps moving her microphone. It's going.
I was fidgeting and didn't realize how hard I was fidgeting, and I was fucking up the.
Even if you guys just like touch the table,
Yeah.
it picks up.
Horrible.
But yeah, I don't know.
So
But anyway, this movie does have some gay
wait,
rights.
can we get on the 7th grade thing for a second? Like,
Hold on.
1917 is not going to be as interesting as this conversation, so
No.
we'll get back to it. You want to go
Okay.
first?
Yes, I want to go first.
Go ahead.
So I just remembered it was either 6th or 7th grade, but in my middle school we were the bad class. I think I almost told Madison the story and I got distracted the other day.
That happens a lot.
It does. I have a short attention span. So in my 6th or 7th grade, we had assigned tables, assigned seats in lunch because we were bad children, and everyone got very angry about it because we didn't want to sit alphabetical, and so we made a protest, like a page for a protest on Facebook,
Oh God.
and then everyone sat down in
These
the
kids
hall
are so entitled.
outside the lunchroom. In this line, there's this line of like fucking 13-year-olds, 12-year-olds just sitting there refusing. And like I participated in that. That was
Yeah,
my
but-
first protest.
Political
No.
activism, dude. It's your first
Yeah,
time
that's
out.
awesome. Did it work?
No,
didn't
absolutely
think
not.
So what happened the next day? Everybody just did their normal thing?
No, they threatened that they would like take away a bunch of like field trips and shit
Like, do it.
unless we went inside.
Hold your fucking
And,
ground.
like,
It's
sat in the
101, bitch.
ground.
And we all relented and went in.
What the fuck?
You guys are lame activists.
No, you do it every day until
I-
you get what you want.
I have
We
a
only
funny
did it one
story.
day. For like
there's a-
10
Every
minutes.
single day you're out there.
I was a little emo boy, and there was this friend of mine. I won't say her name because I don't. She's kind of a private person, I'm guessing. I don't talk to her in a long time. But she had tarot cards, and she was reading me my future fortune,
I
whatever.
have tarot cards. I'll read you a fortune.
But we were edgy because we were in 7th grade. I had long hair, and I loved My Chemical Romance, and I was a dang old one of them. And
Dang old one of them.
I was super excited with these tarot cards, and the principal walked by and he goes, "Hey, this is exactly what I said to you. Hey, give me those. There's naked ladies on them." And then she got in trouble, And she never got the cards back, and the ongoing joke was like he kept the cards because it had naked ladies on them. And we never saw those fucking cards again.
Lame.
So weird. Like I don't know what his deal was. It was like there were drugs being done in that same parking lot within eye shot. He's like, nope, naked lady cards, not okay.
That's so funny.
Children, I swear.
I also want to quickly note that my story, I'm still in that group, on that Facebook group.
You should post.
Do you guys talk?
Get the team back.
What?
You guys should reenact your original like just go to that school, stand outside, all of you guys.
I'm gonna write a book about the protest.
Can I make fun of your hometown for a minute?
Yes, you are allowed.
But then it would be like 50 kids on meth and Bridget.
Honest to God,
Indiana.
correct.
I understand completely.
I wanted to get permission before I made a knock at good old Indiana.
At good old my hometown.
I've been there. Don't worry about it. I'm an Indiana Hoosier boy. I understand. It's not good.
Hoosier.
Did
they tell you?
Only Kentucky, but like the part of Kentucky where they wear shoes and people aren't blue.
People are blue.
Oh yeah, if you go south enough, there's blue.
Maybe
people.
they're like emotionally
What the fuck
blue.
does that mean? They're blue.
Incest.
Are they? They're not literally blue.
Yeah,
they literally are blue.
Pigment.
Yeah.
There's blue pigment to their skin because of the incest.
It's due to there's like a cell. I want to be specific because I don't want to sound like a dummy, but I might have just done it on accident. There's like your skin's like dying essentially.
Yeah.
Like the cells, the pigments.
Uh-huh.
So you're turning blue.
Yeah, but not like blue.
No, you're
like
fucking blue, and you get gray hair like super fast because the chemical in your hair too.
Wait, what?
That's real, dude.
Yeah, they're usually like in the hills because like they kind of stay away from people, obviously. But yeah, fucking blue.
And that's due to incest, as well as I'm sure other conditions such as not correct, vitamins, proteins, all that shit. Because people live up in the hills.
That's insane.
Yeah, they're really blue. Dabu dee dabu die. If they were green, I mean, they're still probably gonna die. But I guess if they were green, it'd be worse.
Bridget, let me see. Yep.
Shows on.
Yep, fucking crazy.
So 1917.
Yeah, 1917.
Which is almost like a 7th grade protest, if you will.
1917.
In
Yes.
what way?
It goes badly.
The whole war?
No.
Which, by
just
the way,
movie went badly.
Logan got mad at me because I did not know which war this was.
No, I got mad at you when you said World War I. Well, who's fighting? Everyone.
World
is the world,
But I
motherfucker.
still don't understand. Who?
Okay, the two main guys that we are following in this movie are English.
Okay.
England and German are the two like players in this movie.
So, wait, they weren't U.S. troops? I thought they were U.S. troops.
Not the two that we were following.
Okay, gotcha.
There might have been U.S.
Right?
troops in there at one point.
They definitely
but
had
I
British
don't think-
accents.
Oh, I didn't fucking notice. Okay, continue.
All right.
Okay.
I
So, yeah,
didn't listen to them talk.
Like, I think that like one of the big things that this movie is getting a lot of like hype for is the idea that it's all one long continuous take, which it isn't.
It's clumsy. The edits are bad. They're not hidden.
Like sometimes you'll just be watching and like important things are happening. Like the guys are like walking and they're trying to get to their destination, and then all of a sudden we get a close up on some dirt.
Or like all of a sudden, you're out there. It goes past a like a wall of some kind. Oopsie! Like clearly
Right.
that's a cut. You fuck.
Yeah, like obviously you are making cuts.
Ooh, the time when it goes pitch black for like a whole 4 seconds.
It was longer than 4.
It was like
Really?
a bad roller coaster ride. Like a bad ride.
It made me nauseous.
It was like the Indiana Jones ride at Disney,
Yeah, it was just.
Epcot or whatever. I don't know.
All
I don't know what
of
that shit
it
is.
being one shot made it very hard for me to tell how much time passed. And
And
so
it,
I
like-
was like, it's only been 15 minutes. And it was actually like 2 hours.
The thing about it being one shot would be cool if like things that were happening that were visually interesting.
But there was barely.
But it was just like so like dull and muted for most of the movie that like nothing interesting was going on.
There was
The
some good
colors
stuff,
weren't
but-
very good, and like certain times that there were some good shots and some cool stuff, but for the most part the movie was just very gray and very dull. And like I get it because like war is hell or whatever, but like it's just like, come on, man. There's nothing for me to look at.
But this is...
And so, like, there could have been cool shots, and, like, that would have been cool, like, to get some, like, you know, cool close-ups, or, like, you know, some cool aerials would have been cool. I said cool a lot. But, like, you know, to have some cool aerials of them, like, walking across, like, that would have been kind of neat. I don't know why commit yourself to the all one-shot thing when, one, you're not even going to really do it. Two, your hidden cuts are going to be sloppy as shit. And so, as a result, we're going to have these weird, like, lingering shots of dirt or, like, mud or stone. And I'm like, why am I looking at this? Like, it's fucking obvious to me.
So the suspension of disbelief they want you to do in this film, there are moments that are just out of the question not going to happen, especially for a gritty war film. There's no fucking way a Nazi plane is going to land within shot of the two men that are happening to go, like, across, like, crazy badlands to go give a secret message. They're not going to save that Nazi, then have him randomly stab one and have him die in that moment.
I still think he was shot.
He was stabbed.
You were drunk and asleep.
No, he stabbed him. The Nazi got shot.
Yeah, the Nazi was shot.
Guy.
And then the other thing
Madison
is, too...
was on my side in the last time we had this conversation.
No, she wasn't.
No, I thought we were talking about something different.
Oh,
He was
mind.
stabbed, 1,000% stabbed. Stabbed in the gut. And the other thing is, too, is there's moments where you can tell it's going to come up later. The milk, give me a fucking break. I knew.
Milk.
The milk?
I
The
was asleep
milk?
during that part by choice.
There was no fucking way that it wasn't going to be reincorporated.
Right.
There was no way. It was so obvious. There were just moments where it's like, oh, yeah, that's definitely going to come back. And it did, and it wasn't even clever.
Yeah, and then just like this guy like turning his back to this Nazi soldier. It's just like, that's crazy talk.
It's so dumb. So dumb.
And yeah, I mean, like the concept of it isn't half bad. The idea that like these two people have to do, you know, a secret
But
message.
it's not believable in the way that it's shot.
Yeah,
and
I mean
then
the
events that
reasoning
happen.
behind it is believable, but like then like the way that the events unfold, and then yeah, the way that it's shot, it just isn't that visually interesting, and especially because there's not a lot of talking going on for a lot of it. It's just like you're bored because like you're just seeing this guy walk.
Another good thing is when the one guy approached him, when you tell him that to not do the battalion and not go forward through it, make sure you have witnesses because some men just have anger in their heart or whatever the fuck he said. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
We know what it's going to happen.
Right.
Again, I know I use this phrase a lot, but insulting to intelligence. Why did they have to shove that down your throat like that? Like, just... We
also
know.
just, like, random stuff.
We know.
Like when it was still the two of them before the one guy died. Like they're walking along. They really haven't been talking to each other, so we're just getting these kind of like long shots of them walking. It's very boring. And then at one point, one of them says, Franny just yawned like huge. One of them says,
I did it away from the
something
mic.
like, "Oh look, it's the trenches." Like that was only for my audience member benefit. Because that other dude has eyes.
Yeah.
Like, I know for a fact that he can see. So, I don't know why.
That CG rat looked like shit.
Oh my god,
Holy
those
shit.
fucking rats. Those things were on par with the mice from Cats, boy.
Also, this film is dead body porn.
I know.
Yeah.
It's over the top. I get that that's really how it is. But if you're giving us so much stuff that's unbelievable, you can't combine it with a gritty realness because we're already in a fantasy.
Right.
So when you give us all this reality of like over some like just a crazy amount of dead bodies, people are turned off by it. But also it gets to be funny. Like I'm sorry, but like it's like he's tripping over dead bodies, like it's just grass or like.
Like the first time, it was kind of like a good moment when he sort of put his hand.
That was, for me, that was a little like over the top, but it definitely wasn't.
It was kind of gross, but I think it gave me that like sort of shock value that they were trying to get. But then at a certain point when he's just like swimming through bodies, literally swimming, it's like, okay, come on, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
that was a
could
little
they
bit
could
much.
have chilled out a little bit.
It's not even about chilling out or not. Just pick your tone.
Yeah, like if
Make
you're
a
gonna
tone.
commit,
Make it accurate.
Yeah, like if you're gonna commit to being gritty, then yeah, why do you have this like random like woman baby scenario?
That was just so the audience could be like, no, he's got a wife and baby now. He can't leave them. It's literally like that was so emotionally manipulative in like the most idiotic way. They just wanted us to feel something for this guy because, quite frankly, he's been through so much shit. We're like, well, whatever.
Right.
Oh well. You kind of like the other character more, the one that died. He had more reason to be doing what he was doing.
That's the one everybody liked. That was really stupid that they killed him off. Like,
Yeah, I preferred him.
Well, they had their little gay rights moment at the very least.
If it would have been them
did.
two the whole movie, who knows?
It might have been a lot better.
It could have been a turnaround.
Like they kind of had a good like chemistry between them.
very gay rights.
And like it would have been kind of interesting to see them sort of navigate this thing together. But
He had to go off and die.
yeah, inevitably it had to
Stabbed
be
by a Nazi.
the one dude alone. And yeah, I just thought it was boring. I kind of predicted that it was going to be boring, and it was.
And by kindness, she's being humble there. She yelled loudly and often that it was going to be boring whenever it was brought up.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of knew. I was always teasing her. I knew it was going to be boring.
Yeah, no, I mean, and then like the idea of having a movie be one long shot is kind of cool. But again, it just wasn't.
If you want to watch that, watch Birdman, watch Rope.
Right.
Watch movies that do it well. Hitchcock did it, and he only did hidden cuts because he didn't have enough room for the film.
Right.
And his hidden cuts are better.
You can barely see them.
They're better.
Like when you watch Rope, you have to kind of already know where they are so that you can see them.
This is your one warning. Don't get me on mic etiquette with you.
I'm sorry.
I will literally, I am not kidding. I will cry on the podcast.
No, you won't.
I will.
I dare you to cry.
Give me-
Cry right now.
Give me a few minutes. You guys
You're
keep
being
talking.
such a little bitch. Just cry right now.
Give me a few minutes. You guys keep talking. I'll get to it.
I'm just playing.
I'll get to it.
Don't actually
make him
cry. Don't actually
I'll cry. Then we'll all be crying.
I've been doing plays since I was 7. I can do this. Give me a minute.
Don't
Keep
cry.
talking. Talk about the
my
boring
God.
movie. Hold on.
This makes me sad.
But
You guys
yeah.
stare at me. I can't do
No,
it.
I don't
I'm
want to
not
see
staring.
you cry.
But yeah,
Stop
there are
it.
movies that do the long take really well and like it looks really cool, and this is just not one. Because so much of the movie is just grayscale, dude. And then sometimes you get these cool like splashes of color, and like that's kind of
Can't do it
fun.
right now.
Good. I don't want to see you cry.
Madison's too interesting. I
And
keep paying
they're-
attention to what she's saying.
I don't care what you do over there.
I said you're too interesting. Keep paying attention to what you're saying.
I
What's
thought
wrong
said-
with
I
you?
thought you said I'm not interested.
I said you're too interesting.
Oh, thanks.
Wow, that was really fucked up.
I didn't hear what you said. And then like I mean, especially in sort of the end half of the movie. So basically, what happens is he reaches the city that he has to pass through in order to get to the general to give him this message, and so he sort of comes upon a Nazi soldier. Who he then kills, but he somehow gets knocked out. I don't really fully understand the logistics of him being knocked out.
I think he was shot.
But he wasn't like bleeding or anything.
He was bleeding on the back of his neck. Remember?
I thought that was from his head, like from the fall.
I don't know.
Because how would he have made it all that way having been
It
shot?
could be that that the guy missed and maybe he fell back down the stairs.
Oh, I guess that could be. But anyway, he gets knocked out, and we again like cut to black for a good couple minutes.
Yeah, it was really long.
It's like way too long. I was almost like, is this movie over now? It was
That
a
would've
really,
been
it
a
was
blessing.
a really long.
The whole
fade
time
to
I'm just
black.
looking at Madison like, please let us leave. And she's the one who's like, no, we have to stay. I'm like, you're fucking killing me.
I'm the kind that wants to stick it out.
We didn't finish it, by the way.
But
We left about
we all
3 minutes.
listened.
We left about like 5, maybe 10 minutes before the conclusion.
We wanted to avoid talking to some people.
Oh, that wasn't the reason though. I just
No,
wanted to
I
get
know,
out of
I'm
the
just
movie.
playing.
We didn't really avoid the people. They still saw us physically. Unfortunately, I also saw them physically.
But anyway, I was just playing. But what was I saying? But in that end half, that's when we sort of had some cool shots. There were some cool things with the coloring that I wish they had done for the rest of the movie. Like there are some really cool scenes where things are on fire and the sun's coming up.
Yeah.
And it looks really cool.
I loved like the darkness and like the flashes of white.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
Yeah, you woke me up to show me one scene that actually looked kind of cool, which I appreciated.
Yeah, and then
'cause I
when,
was
like a bunch
hating
of
all
stuff
of
is
it.
on fire and sort of getting bombed out, and you have like the silhouettes kind of to play with. That's really cool. And then there's a scene where it was very blue. The coloring was very blue, and he's sort of running really fast. And there, even though it is still keeping with that one shot, the angles are kind of cool of it. Like you kind of get it from sort of a lower angle, which I kind of thought was neat. It was kind of broke up the monotony of like sort of being at this guy's like sort of shoulder mid torso height. So when that happened and the camera was actually allowed to like move around a little bit and they played with the coloring, I thought it was really cool. But I wish that they had just done that for other parts of the movie, because those were the parts of the movie that I was visually interested in. But then the entire beginning, when it's just them walking in this gray expanse, was just so boring. And then even after this sort of scene that I'm talking about, it just kind of goes back to that sort of like color palette.
Yep.
And yeah, I just wish that there had been more color in this movie, and I
wish
think that would
there
have
had
made all the
been
difference.
more movie, in the sense of not
Yeah.
time, but story, narrative, things happening.
Yeah, and
It was
I just
entirely
wish-
action wall to walls. There was really no. There's nothing. This movie really didn't have anything.
It
It-
sucked.
It's just kind of an experiment in filmmaking in regards to like the one shotness, and I think there's some aspects of it that really worked, but there's a lot of aspects of it that didn't.
Yeah, and I just wish the camera had been like allowed to move around some.
Yeah.
I also wish that we got like backstory or character development at all. Like,
You're asking too much.
Well, the thing is too is that Sam Mendes, who you can have his. Wait, is it Sam Mendes, right? The director.
Yeah.
Who?
Okay. Sam Mendes is definitely trying to go for like the Innuendo Michael Haneke type filmmaking,
Yeah.
but he's too busy also trying to make it commercial. It feels.
Right. Because he also did the more recent James Bond movies, right?
Yeah.
Which I actually quite like.
Yeah. No, he's a good. He's a
even
good
though
director.
Logan hates Daniel Craig.
I don't. Okay, here's the thing. I like Daniel Craig in Knives Out. I don't like Daniel Craig as Bond,
I like him.
and I mean, there's been a way better Bonds.
Well, yeah, but
And then
I like
Logan
him.
Lucky for me was just like an insulting movie all around.
I kind of liked Logan
I just-
Lucky. It was
I
a
don't
fun
know.
little time.
It just kind of felt like it was trying to be like redneck Oceans.
Is that the one that's like from first person point of view?
No.
You're thinking of Hardcore Henry,
Oh,
Logan Lucky and Hardcore Henry. That's a
Close
death battle
enough.
right
That's a
there.
duo.
That's an epic rap battle for someone out there.
Um,
But no, like Haneke or Hanukkah. I keep saying Haneke, Hanukkah, and like Innuendo. I can't do these fucking last
I
names.
know.
Innuendo did Birdman, and then Hanukkah always does crazy experimental stuff like this. It just felt like it was kind of a sophomore director trying to do senior things.
Yeah.
And since it's such a far jump, people are giving it a lot of respect. And that's cool. I'm all about trying new stuff and like trying things, but I think that people should be honest about it being more of a C- versus the A+.
Yeah, I just wasn't that into it. I don't know.
Just-
Also, like, Bridget's drunk ass said something really funny after that cut to black. She asked me if he was in hell now. And oh, go ahead.
you said he was, so I firmly believed that
Oh my
this man was
God.
actually in hell in the shot that we were looking at. I thought, okay, the man is in hell. We're in hell now. Why is there a woman and baby in hell? Why would that happen?
A couple things about this. Bridget was talking to me a lot during this movie.
I'm so
And most
sorry.
of the time I didn't know what she was saying because she was, one, drunk, and two, it's kind of loud. Like, as far as a movie goes, it's
Yeah.
kind of loud.
It's a very loud movie.
Because war is loud and war is hell.
Mm-hmm.
And so in that sense, yes, he was in hell.
Oh, well, glad we cleared
Because
that
war
up.
is hell. And that's what I think this movie wants you to know.
Guys, here's going to be the fun part of the discussion. This is going to make a really good point. You'd say pretty much that there's one main character. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Bridget, what's his name? Franny, what's his name?
no idea.
Madison, what's his name?
Ja, Shugamdam.
Yep.
Logan, what's his name? I have no fucking
Yeah,
idea.
no fucking idea.
He was the main
calling him
character.
Winston, because he looks like a Winston.
We
but-
spent more time with him than any other. Like Dolomite is My Name is literally a movie about a Dolomite guy, right? Like, his name is Dolomite. This is in the fucking title. I probably spent less time with Eddie Murphy in that film than we did with this guy, and I have no fucking idea what his name is at all. At all. Not a goddamn clue what his name is.
But the other thing about her asking me if he was in hell, like, I didn't understand what she was saying, but it's also just really funny to me because sometimes we'll see a movie and Bridget will ask me questions about what's going on in the movie as if I am not also watching the movie for the first time.
We've had this discussion before.
I know. I just want to point it out. I just like to say it when I can because it's like, even if he was in hell, which I don't think I ever thought that he was, but I also just didn't know what Bridget was saying to me, and I was just trying to be like, yeah, whatever.
Franny turns to me. First 3 questions. What war is this? I don't answer right away. Is this the Civil War? No. This is World War II.
They were British, Franny.
This was after she saw the German, by the way.
No, I asked if this was the one about the Holocaust.
That was the other question you asked. You asked if it was the Civil War. Not long after you came back from grabbing the refills, there was definitely a dead German man, and you went, "Is this the Civil War? No, wait. Is this the Holocaust one?"
The Holocaust.
Oh my God, Franny.
Turns out it wasn't either.
Nope.
Shocking.
I wish they would have like told us what. I mean,
1917.
1917.
This war was 103 years ago.
I don't know. Okay.
Do you know even a little bit about what like World War I was about? What were they even fighting about?
So it wasn't
I'd say though, to be fair, this one isn't like a super well-known reason though.
That's true.
This is kind of
It's kind of complicated.
It's a forgotten war in the sense that it wasn't forgotten, but the reasoning, because World War II was just so fucking egregious why that war was happening. We kind of forgot about World War One.
They just shot Archduke Franz Ferdinand.
What
right?
was it?
That is right? Isn't that how it started?
It is right, but it's funny because I was catching in between your microphone and like the echo of the room, and suddenly you went, Ferdinand.
I heard that
Ferdinand.
Wait, so
Buttermilk biscuits, Ferdinand.
Hold up. What was this war about?
Would you like to explain?
Oh, it'll take me too long.
Okay.
It started
you
because
have the Google.
I don't
You have the buttermilk biscuit Google.
Listen, I'm not gonna Google something and then read something. Okay, no.
I'm not gonna read. I already watched this boring movie.
I found their names.
Oh, what are their names? Please enlighten us.
Schofield.
Spell it.
Schofield.
Schofield? Yeah, Schofield.
And Blake. And Blake is the one that is
stabbed. I knew Blake, but that's
so
the last
Blake
name.
is the one. Yeah, but that's because they were trying to find his brother.
Yeah, no. I knew Blake too, but Blake's not the main character.
No, I know. I
wasn't too far off when I said Schofield.
Yeah.
No, you weren't far off at all. I just wanted to point out the fact that like this movie has about as memorable characters as Star Wars Rogue One. And maybe that's a war film issue, but I know who fucking Private Ryan is, so maybe it's not.
Well, I know the movie was named after him.
Well, I'm making the point that
Saving Private Ryan.
You know those characters' names, and
you know which one Maverick is in Top Gun, which is technically a war movie.
Or if you've seen Fury, you know those characters' names, or if you know these. A lot of these characters are super memorable.
But like, name one character in Dunkirk. You know,
Harry Styles.
He's not a character.
I knew you were gonna say that's why I was like, I can get out before her.
Name another actor other than Harry Styles that was in Dunkirk.
Wasn't it what's his name? The one, not Freddie. Well, Freddie Highmore wasn't in it.
I don't know.
The who's the main boy? Who was the Dunkirk?
What do you mean?
Harry Styles.
Who was Dunkirk?
Who was Dunkirk?
What was Dunkirk? Who done it? Who was Kirk? I don't know.
Who was Kirk?
What did they do to Kirk?
What happened to Kirk?
Justice for Kirk.
Yeah.
Saving Private Kirk.
Saving Private Kirk. Oh my gosh. Meet Joe Kirk. Meet Dunkirk.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like, especially because we already know, well, some of us already know what happened in World War One. Some of us.
That is the most insulting fucking thing ever, and it's
Some
true.
of us knew it wouldn't be necessary for my future to know that.
Those
if
who
you
do
don't
not
know your
learn
past,
history
you
are
can't
doomed
have a
to
future.
repeat it.
Huh?
If you don't know your
Those
past,
who do not learn history are doomed to repeat it.
if you don't know your past, you can't have a future.
I ain't gonna.
You're
restart a
quoting
war.
philosophy. I'm quoting the Proud Family.
Well, That's philosophy too in its own way.
Fun story.
Wait,
I have
they
to talk
have-
about the Proud Family real fast.
Wait,
Are
but
you
I
talking
have
about the
something to say.
names? Are you talking about the names?
What?
Their names are like fucking street names and shit, right?
That's not what I'm talking about, though.
Okay.
What the fuck?
The characters of Proud Family.
But anyway, what I was gonna say.
No. I have to talk about this Proud Family thing because we
my
will
God.
not get back to it.
Okay.
Please, it is so worth
Then
it.
talk
Yes.
Okay, so when I was a
Wait,
kid,
hold on. While he's going, can somebody hand me the water? Oh, it's right behind me. I thought it was over there by y'all. Okay, talk about the Proud Family, please.
okay, so when I was a kid, I'm sure a lot of people near my age group knew what the Proud Family was. It was a TV show.
Hey.
There's an episode where Al Roker is an evil mage who tortures children and makes them and challenges them to breakdancing. Now, when I was a kid, that was especially scary, and I used to have nightmares that Al Roker was breakdancing me to death.
Nice.
Didn't know he was real. As a young boy, also saw a newscast with him on it, screamed and cried and hugged my dad. I said, evil's real. That is a quote. And Dad's like, what's wrong? And I said, Al Roker, he's fucking evil. And my dad's like, why is he evil? And I'm just like, and I like told him about the show, and he was like, I don't believe you. Years later, he sees the episode. He's like, God, that's traumatizing.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he was a nightmare
So
of mine.
funny.
Me and Al Roker are not good. We are not good. Me and Al are not okay.
I watched Goosebumps like one time and I freaked the fuck out.
Oh my gosh, Goosebumps.
Aw.
Goosebumps, really, if we're ever going to do another Cats kind of video, watching a Goosebumps episode is really
We
great.
should
Uh-huh.
do that.
That's what I used to
Wait,
always
but
do.
we should also do Doolittle.
Oh yeah, we've
Yeah,
been
but
talking about that.
Goosebumps is a nice little, like, we can all do because we
Yeah, we don't
That's
need
so
a sober
true.
shaman.
Don't have to leave anywhere.
And the best episodes are just, like, the most ridiculous ones. Like, you have to find the most ridiculous
That's
name.
what we should do.
Ghost Beach.
The one I
Love a
remember
good Ghost
watching that
Beach.
scared me was like this family like moved into this house and one of the kids kept like seeing dead people around.
Is it some of the what? The Sixth Sense?
No, not the Sixth Sense. It was a Goosebumps.
Did you see the
Are
one?
you talking about the kids that are also like ghost kids?
I don't fucking
In the
know.
school?
No,
it was a
like
house.
by a beach. They're
I don't know.
in
You're talking about Ghost
vacation
Beach.
home. Ghost
No, I was
Beach.
talking-
Ghost Beach. Another good one is The Slime, I believe it's called, and it's a two-parter where the slime ends up taking over everything and like killing a bunch of people, and then they save themselves somehow. Then the kid takes a plane back to his hometown. The slime's on the plane now, and it's the exact same episode but on a plane.
Nice.
And there's another good one where Ryan Gosling was a kid and he had like some sort of like magical like goggles or some shit. Then they made a sequel, completely unrelated. Hired somebody who wasn't Ryan Gosling as a child.
Nice.
And then the curse was the kid was getting fat.
Oh god.
That's true.
Rough.
But Are You
What
Afraid of
the
the Dark is also
fuck?
good. You
Yeah.
remember, it's the greatest ride in the fuck.
It's the greatest ride in the
It's the
book.
greatest ride in the fuck.
It's the
Ouija.
greatest ride in the book.
Ouija. They had a guy who was like the stereotypical creepy actor, but he was really good, but you couldn't understand what he was saying. So there's this video that JonTron did, and he like kind of subtitles what the dude's saying, and it's like he was clearly trying to say it's the greatest ride in the park, but it sounds like he's the greatest ride in the fuck. And then another point, he's trying to talk to him. He's like, "Come here, please," and it's like, "Come here, Ouija." It's like the fucking best
so
video
funny.
ever. We could also do Are You Afraid of the Dark? That's basically the more Canadian, slightly more scary Goosebumps.
I loved reading the Goosebumps books, but I didn't really watch the show. I did.
You're
I
the
show.
only kid who did in that order. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I never watched the show because I got scared that one time.
That
I
shit
read
was
the
just too
books, like,
spooky for you.
They
It
were,
was too spooky.
Too spooky.
I
Spooky
was not a
stuff.
good reader in my childhood.
That's
we
all
had
I did.
we had reading buddies. Like in 5th grade, we would like partner up with a first grader and like read to them, right? And when I was in 5th grade and partnered up with a first grader to read to them, I couldn't read very well.
Oh no.
And
Oh.
my first grader read to me.
That's cute. That's cute though.
Yeah, years later, like when I was like in high school, I didn't even go to that school anymore, but I went to a football game at that school with like some friends, and turns out I was sitting by him, and he was like, "Oh hey, what up?"
The one that really got me, speaking of like spooky little kid moments, was did you ever see the Halloween episode of Hey Arnold?
No, I never really liked Hey Arnold that much.
Oh my fuck.
I don't remember it. I did like K. Arnold though.
At the very end of the episode, it's this whole thing like there's a ghost, and at the end you're like, no, there's not a ghost. But at the very end of the episode, a fucking ghost shows up.
I like how
There's an
boring.
actual ghost at the end, and it's canon. Everything in Hey Arnold's canon. There's no one-offs. It actually runs in a series. So you're
Yeah,
like,
it
there's
does.
ghosts in the world. Ghosts are real.
I used to watch a lot of Scooby-Doo as a kid, and one time I went into a phase where I was just watching a lot of Scooby-Doo, like too
Love me
much.
some Scooby-Doo.
And then I had like.
much.
By the way, we will be reviewing
nightmares.
the Scooby-Doo movie on here. Absolutely. We have to
The
go see
first
it.
one?
Scoob! We have to-
Scoob.
I like how
Why? I'm pissed that
The
they
one with
fired
Sarah Michelle Gellar?
what?
The one with Sarah
No,
Michelle
that's
Gellar.
Scooby-Doo. That's a live-action Scooby-Doo.
This one's an animated one coming out.
Okay. I'm sorry.
And then
I
you
thought we were
got
talking
good
about
old
past movies.
Scooby-Doo 2.
What I want to know is
Monsters Unleashed.
why is Matthew Lillard
God.
not Shaggy for this film? Matthew
Because he
Lillard's
sounds too high.
Matthew Lillard's been Shaggy for years.
I know,
Live
it's
action
upsetting.
and animated. It's bullshit. He's great. SLC Punk is
I
one of my
like how
favorite movies.
1917 is so boring. We are talking about anything besides it.
Like, I just remember, I just used to love Scooby-Doo so much, and now the only iterations of Scooby-Doo that we stand are What's New Scooby-Doo and fucking the Scooby-Doo live-action movies, because those are great.
Man, that first live action movie, who was singing to Daphne? Was that Sugar Ray? Was that Sugar Ray singing
I don't
to Daphne?
remember. I know exactly
Was that
what you're talking
Sum
about, but I don't know.
41 singing to Daphne? That was like a moment. That was a moment in time. Also, like, there was a lot of sexual, like, really aggressive sexual humor,
Yeah.
as well as a dog penis peeing.
Yes.
All things that children shouldn't see.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? We got some words.
Wait, which
to
movie
know.
was that? Where was that?
Am I a Fred? Guys, am I a Fred or am I a Shaggy? I want to know. Or maybe
You're
I
a
could be.
Fred.
I could be a Velma, right?
No.
Why not?
What am I?
I'm smart. I'm intellectual.
You're a Velma.
You're
What am I?
absolute.
Velma.
You're 1,000% a Velma.
What am I?
You're totally a Daphne. 1,000%.
I'm a Daphne? Why am
Absolutely.
I a Daphne?
Because, like,
Hey.
you the independence level. The independence level, and it's ironic. That's why.
And you're very femme.
That's
Yeah.
that's
I'm
why.
very what?
Femme.
Femme.
I thought you said I was very thin. I was like, no, I ain't.
Femme.
But the other thing is
Wait.
too. It's kind of ironic that she'd always get kidnapped because she was also like, Fred was the leader, but she was the actual bossy one.
Right.
It would all be like they were all infighting. She'd be like, "Guys, shut the fuck up. Let's do this."
Correct.
Who am I?
You're the Scoop to my
You're
Shaggy.
Shaggy.
She's
Hell
the
yeah.
Scoop to.
You're the Fred.
Actually, that's right. That's
You are
true.
Fred.
And they totally like they're end game. Like
Yeah.
he
So
made
is Daphne and Velma.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I think Velma's
There is fanfic of that for
but
sure.
for the wrong reasons. And I think Velma is almost maybe like an asexual in a way.
No, Velma's gay as fuck.
You think
dude.
Velma's
Velma's
gay
gay
as-
as
Yes,
fuck.
Velma
I don't
is
know
the
about
gayest.
Confirmed. I mean, it's not really confirmed. but
It's not confirmed. The only
in
thing
my
confirmed is that they
lesbian
smoke
heart.
weed.
Velma's gay as shit, dude.
I guess I don't know.
I feel like
enough.
you had a childhood.
I'm
crush
not
on Velma,
educated
for
enough
sure.
on
Oh, yeah.
Scooby-Doo to know this.
She seems like right up your alley.
She's smart. She's pretty. She likes to read for fun.
And she's bold enough to do
Checks.
orange. Like that's what's up. That's bold shit. That's
Checks
bold.
all of Bridget's boxes.
And guess what? I have her now. Not Velma.
I thought you were Velma.
I mean,
You
yes,
and
you're
her. You
smart,
became what you
you're
desired.
Cool.
Daphne's all those
you're-
things. I wouldn't call Velma cool.
You read for fun.
Velma's not cool. Velma is
Cool
not
in my
cool.
eyes.
It's because you are her.
Anyway.
I think I definitely
all the
am more of a
boxes.
Daphne,
You're
to be honest.
1,000% a Daphne. It was no. I didn't even question it. It was instantly the person I thought of.
Fair enough.
And I like how you didn't question me as Shaggy. How am I Shaggy?
I
You
didn't
just
que-
are Shaggy.
Well, I mean, like, do we want to resort back to your high school days and go over decision making?
Oof. All right, let's go. Not into that. Let's continue with
I think actually, you know what? The more I think about it, you might be a Fred and I might be a Shaggy because
Yeah.
Dwight is
No.
totally my Scoob without a doubt.
I
That's
mean,
my
yeah,
boy.
but you're still more of a Fred, though.
It's true. I am like the leader who thinks he's the leader, but probably like couldn't get along if he lost a single person in the tribe
Yeah.
at all. That's me. That's true.
You're like, come on, gang.
I'm more of a man child who's like, I'm totally in charge. That's the story of my life.
Oh hush.
You okay?
Yeah, you tickled me. Stop.
But 1917 though.
In case you guys are still
But
wondering.
what I was gonna say was a long time ago. I was gonna say, like, because we already know what's gonna happen in World War II ultimately,
One.
and even or one. I mean,
Damn.
I was thinking about
Who doesn't
Dunkirk.
know what war it was now?
Yeah, bitch.
Still Franny.
I was thinking about Dunkirk, but
Hey,
in movies
fuck
like Dunkirk
you.
and in 1917, because we already ultimately know the outcomes. Like, even watching 1917, there was no question in my mind that he was gonna get this message delivered. Because otherwise, it would be so fucking stupid.
Actually, you know what? I would have given it points if it did that.
Actually, yeah, that would have been kind of.
That
like,
would have been really interesting. That'd have been really interesting. But like, have him die and fail, but have one of the guys he half mentioned it to get word that he died and be like, you know what? Now it's mine. Now I gotta go do it.
Yeah.
Have someone, one of those losers who's in the back of that truck that didn't want to move anything, feel some
Right.
fucking guilt and make it happen. That'd have been a better film.
Correct. But anyway, like, because we, and like with the whole Dunkirk thing, like, we ultimately know the outcomes. Then your movie has to like have characters that I'm invested in, because you're not holding me in suspense. Like, if the British win World War One,
I'll point out a good example of that. If you've ever seen Catch Me If You Can,
mm-hmm.
Spielberg.
Yeah.
That's a film where everything's documented. Everything's known. We know the ending of this movie.
Right?
But it's got intrigue and it's got character.
Or like even like
In the way
Titanic.
that like he gets away with it.
Titanic is... Okay. Here's the unpopular opinions coming out. Titanic, in my opinion, is just like a little bit overrated.
I think it's a little overrated too. But my
And-
point is that like I'm not sitting down to watch Titanic because I'm in suspense about whether or not the boat's gonna sink. I know the boat's gonna sink.
Yeah.
So, like, if Titanic was otherwise completely boring and I didn't even know Leonardo DiCaprio's name, then why would I sit down and fucking watch it? Because I already know the outcomes.
I feel like Billy Zane was robbed of a career. I feel like Billy Zane, he's good in that movie. He actually
He's
is.
pretty good in the movie.
He's like the dick.
The dick.
The heart of the sea guy, the asshole.
Oh. It's been.
It's hard to be that
Years.
hateable in a movie. Like it is.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
and he did a great job and then like no career. Goodbye, Billy Zane. You're done for, buddy.
But yeah, and then you see like the good war movies like fucking Fury and stuff, or like Inglourious Bastards, and
Fury's
those
so good.
movies have the characters that you're invested in, and that's what makes them good. Because we know the outcomes of these events because they're real. So like we need a character that we can like identify with and find interesting as an audience. Like when you just set it up to give a character a task to do, that's fine. But like you also have to make them a person, because then why do I care if they complete their task?
Exactly.
And that's the problem that both 1917 and Dunkirk suffered.
What's sad is I feel like Dunkirk was a little bit better.
Dunkirk
about
was a
it.
little bit better because at least there were multiple people doing multiple tasks. So when you started to get bored of one, you could like it would like switch.
It just felt like a shitty video game.
Okay.
It really did. It really
That's a
did
little
feel-
aggressive. That's a little aggressive.
It kind of felt like playing Call of Duty at times,
Yeah.
though. Especially like when you're getting the
Yeah.
sort of like over the shoulder.
But it's actually the
Like
whole
from
film's like
behind
that.
No, not.
I
the
mean-
whole-
Well, the parts I was.
The biggest moment for me was when he's walking down that corridor after like all like the white flashes, and you just see that guy like kind of walk a little bit. You see him like a silhouette take a step forward, and then that chase. That shit was great.
yeah, the chase is really.
I
good.
mean, that is fucking great. Where
Yeah.
was that the rest of this movie? Like that
Right.
was genuinely
and you actually like
terrifying.
felt something.
yeah.
But a lot of those like over the shoulder sort of like back of the head shots really felt like playing Call of Duty, and not like Black Ops, not like MW3, like one of the lame ones. It just was like I just didn't like it. I just didn't like it at all.
Okay.
I was bored.
Should we rate?
Yeah, but I say, what else is there to say about it?
Yeah. I mean, we've talked as minimal as possible about it while also saying as much as we possibly could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So who wants to go first?
I'll take that as Bridget.
Bridget.
A 1 out of 10.
God damn.
Okay, actually a 2
No,
out
no,
of
don't
10.
let me affect your score. I'm
No,
just
I was
having a
thinking
genuine
about the-
opinion.
I was thinking about the the semi-pretty scenery. Like the hills and stuff.
Mhm.
All right.
Not even a point for gay rights.
I think that's what the point was.
That was what the point was
Oh.
I'll go.
initially.
Are we allowing 0 out of 10s? Because this is a 0.
It's your
It's your
show,
rating,
baby.
It's
your
a fucking 0.
So, is it worse or better than Lighthouse?
Oh no, Lighthouse was 0 too. Lighthouse was way worse.
So are you gonna keep it at the same score?
Okay, Lighthouse is a 0 because fuck Lighthouse, that was offensive. This is a 0.5.
God damn.
Okay.
You want to go?
Yeah, I'll give it a D. Was that higher or lower than you expected?
No, it's just it's a little bit higher than Joker. I was a little surprised.
No, I gave Joker a D plus.
I think it's a D minus. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we are in the same wheelhouse. Because for me, I'm gonna have to say it's like a 3.5 out of 10.
Yeah, and like I want to say this too. Like you bring up the Joker thing, and like this isn't the Joker podcast, but we're recording it. Spoiler: the same night.
Shocking.
But like, even though I enjoyed my experience of watching Joker more, like these two have really close ratings because, like, again, like it's just like the film as a whole, you know.
It's so,
and neither of them just really worked at what they wanted to do.
there's like a phenomenon I want to point out. So like, with Joker, we hated it more after. With 1917, having it ended and then being able to appreciate the great cuts and scenes, like,
Right.
or I should say the great like scenery, kind of helps it because now we're separated from the boring long.
Yeah, if you had asked me in the theater at that moment, I would be like, "This is the worst."
I mean, we all came out.
It's so
just,
boring that Franny's falling asleep right now.
It was so
I'm not
bad
falling
that I was
asleep.
begging to leave.
I'm resting my eyes out of frustration with thinking about 1917.
But yeah, now that I can go and think back about like the scenes that I did like, you know.
Yeah,
Good.
it helps. It helps. It does.
I can't believe there were scenes that you guys like. Maybe it was when I was asleep.
There was scenery you liked.
I don't know. I think. There's
Oh
scenery
yeah,
that
you're
Bridget
right.
liked,
You're
yeah.
right.
Mhm.
There's like that one. What was it that they?
I think there was bombs going off, or maybe it was strikes
There
of
was like
thunder. I
weird
really couldn't even tell.
towers or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. I mean,
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
cool.
that was very reminiscent of like some really great older films.
Yeah.
But I mean that's it. I mean that's the bonus. That's the reward, and it's not worth not worth the time.
And I mean, I enjoyed watching like the small bit of chemistry.
Yeah.
Between
The characters that were
this
together for 10
teeny
minutes.
tiniest grain of chemistry
Yeah.
Right.
that we are allowed.
One last thing. When he was stabbed and he was trying to get him to come with him, the little feet dance he was doing,
That was
fucking
the worst.
ridiculous. Anyway, that's all I have to say.
All right. Should we take a quick pause?
Let's do the pause.
All right. So now that we're talking about movies that are getting the hype that they don't deserve, we're gonna talk about Oscars for a little bit.
Okay, I hear that.
Okay.
All right.
What do you mean? Okay.
I said okay. I hear that. Like, let's do it. I'm down.
We're always gonna do it.
Heard.
So do you not want me to do this? Is that what you're saying?
No, I want you to do it. Let's just fucking.
Great. That's okay. Let's do it.
Great. Let's do it.
Adam Sandler was fucking robbed.
Correct.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Uncut Gems was just
Absolutely.
robbed as a whole. Like that was literally my favorite movie I've seen this year, and it got nothing, not a one.
So fucking
Makes no
depressing.
sense. He did so good.
That and the Safdie brothers did a lot better
Yeah,
than.
they did like so much cool, good directing, and apparently that doesn't matter.
3 out of the 5 directors nominated for Best Director, we gave the lowest scores to out of all of our
Correct.
pods. Sam Mendes,
Yep.
Todd Phillips, Martin Scorsese. That's
just, like,
fucking
it's just
ridiculous.
upsetting.
That's so. And
Also, like, why did Greta Gerwig not get nominated for Best Director?
I'm more like Safdie brothers. Why didn't they
I
get
mean,
nominated?
both, honestly.
I gotta say, Safdie brothers was like the real steal though, because
Yeah.
I could have pictured them, or oh my god, Taika Waititi for Jojo
Yeah.
Rabbit too. Like that was somebody who
Yeah,
I really
that's
thought
another fucking rob on the Oscars too.
was Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
The
it's
fact
got
that
it got
didn't
nominated for
get-
Best Picture, but it's not gonna win.
Right.
That's stupid. It deserves something. Like fuck.
Scarlett
That was so
Johansson was
good.
nominated for it and Marriage Story, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
Best.
I
She
kinda
could
wanna-
get it for either. She did amazing
I
in
kind of
either.
want to go through and, like, you know, for the big ones, like,
Let's do it.
and talk about what's nominated, and then maybe we can each do, like, what we think will win and what we think should win.
Okay, let's start in Academy order then, and we're gonna skip some of the, like, you know, documentary short stuff just because. Well, I love documentary shorts, but we haven't seen any of them,
Right.
and we haven't even seen most of the animated features.
Yeah, and we also haven't seen, like, there's some Best Picture stuff we haven't seen, I think.
Yeah, we're
Mainly-
only gonna really talk on the shit we know.
I think mainly for me and Franny, it's Little Women and Ford v Ferrari.
Yeah, and I'm fucking sad we haven't seen Little Women yet.
Me and Bridget saw Little
so
Women and
good.
we really liked it.
Yeah, we're gonna see it.
I
Calm
loved
down.
it.
Calm down. You
Yeah,
wanted to
and
see
then
The Turning.
we
We could have saw
also-
Little Women.
We also need to see Ford v
I know.
Ferrari.
I wish we would have seen Little
I
Women.
want to see The
Okay.
Turning, though, even though it's
No,
bad.
you don't.
It's real. I mean, guys, avoid it. We're not gonna do a review of
we're
it.
we're inevitably gonna go see it.
Oh God, do you want to do a review then?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so we're gonna do some torture porn later this
It'll
month.
probably be a while, but we'll get to it.
We can review that and maybe like another good little horror movie boy.
Well, a good one.
Yeah, I really want to see. We'll get into that later.
Yeah, okay.
It's not even
All right,
important.
so let's go. Yeah,
All
Academy
right, so
order.
supporting actress, we got Kathy Bates for Richard Jewell. I saw Richard Jewell. She was fucking great in it.
I have not seen Richard Jewell yet.
Laura Dern for Marriage Story. I told you that was going to happen on the first podcast. I was
I
like,
remember.
she was going to.
But we also didn't know who Laura
I
Dern
also was
at
fucked
the
up on who
time.
she was, but finding out that it was the lawyer made me feel even less like she should have been nominated. Scarlett Johansson for Jojo Rabbit. For me, that's like almost like a lock of like one of the better ones. And then Florence Pugh for Little Women. I liked her better in Midsommar, but I know that she's not going to get nominated for that, so I'm happy it got for Little
I mean,
Women.
she didn't. Like you said, she's not gonna. Like she still could.
Yeah, I know.
In my dream world, Florence Pugh wins. I think probably.
Well, there's still Margot Robbie for Bombshell, which none of us have seen.
Oh yeah, I think probably. I haven't seen Richard Jewell, but it seems like Kathy Bates has a pretty good shot.
She won the National Board of Review, but then again, so did Adam Sandler for Best Actor. So who
Yeah.
knows? My lock is Kathy Bates, and my secondary is probably gonna be Laura Dern.
Yeah.
Those are the two that
I
think
would
are the
really
most
love
likely.
for Florence Pugh to get it though, because
Not
I
a
think she
chance.
did a great job.
It's maybe
She made like I don't know. Bridget probably has more to say about this, but like Amy is apparently like the most hateable character in the Little Women book, and Florence Pugh just made you love that little girl,
I
that little
hated her.
woman.
What's the name of the lady girl? The Saoirse Ronan? Is that her name?
Saoirse is how you say it?
Saoirse Ronan. I think she's got a better chance at a statue this year than Florence does in regards to like what they did.
I feel like, but Scarlett Johansson is also nominated for lead, and I feel like she's gonna get it.
Not a chance. I don't think so. But
You
we'll
don't
see.
think?
We'll see. We'll get there. Okay. So then, original score.
Hold the fuck up.
What I didn't know. You should interject when you need to say something. Go ahead.
Bridget just finished talking.
You mean Madison?
Both of them. I have thoughts.
I said
Okay,
very
speak your thoughts. I'm
nothing.
sorry.
You're
Do you
okay.
do you have thoughts on it, Bridget?
No.
I thought we were doing like
I
a
don't know
around
as
the
much.
room type of thing.
That's what I
I'll just
thought.
run through the names one more time, and then you guys
No,
can
I
do
know.
your thoughts.
I know who the thought. So I always said I knew who the thoughts.
Okay,
are.
go ahead, Franny.
I want Scarlett Jo to win for sure.
For best supporting, right?
Best supporting, yeah. I want her to win for best supporting. I love Florence Pugh, but I have not seen Little Women yet, so who knows?
Little Women is really good.
I'm
It's
excited to
so
see it.
good. Gay rights?
Gay rights.
Are there? That's awesome.
That's
I
not.
mean-
That doesn't necessarily make a film good, though. I have to
No, I
still
just
see
thought
the
was
film.
giving it gay rights.
Because 1970 had gay rights, and
Yeah.
it wasn't a good
Bridget, you
movie.
should sit normal because I feel like you're having a really hard time reaching this mic. That was nothing.
I could believe that was not picked up by the microphone.
He said, fine.
There you go.
There you go. That's much
There you
better.
go.
All right, next one.
So, did you have anything to say about this, Bridget?
I don't know as much. Like, I don't know. For me, it's not always Florence Pugh.
Got it.
Go. Okay, great.
I said,
Okay.
Florence.
Original score. I have big thoughts on this. So there's Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. So everybody,
What is this award? What is this
best
category?
original score.
Okay.
I think Star Wars is actually one that's kind of leading because every single time a Star Wars movie comes out, people always go to the score. It's a great score. There always are. I'm gonna go ahead and bet Marriage Story because it's the one that always sticks out in my mind. It's like really, just like great and kind of beautiful and melancholy in a way. Kind of just.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't like Marriage Story that much, but
Do you remember the score?
I did like the score.
The
a lot.
score is
Score was
so
good.
memorable for it, and Joker was another good
Yeah,
one.
Joker had a pretty good score. I liked it.
So what do you guys think's gonna win?
Ooh, I have a bad time remembering what the music was in movies, so I honestly cannot really give an opinion on this. I'm just going to say Marriage Story because I love Marriage Story.
I was going to say, in the podcast where we did Marriage Story, you were the one, I think, who brought up the score.
Wow, okay. Well, I mean, I can't even think of how it sounded, even kind of now, but I'm going to say Marriage Story because it sounds like I like the score. And I just like that movie so much.
Bridget?
I really like the score in Little Women.
I liked it too. It was good.
I haven't heard it, so I can't go on it. Is that yours too, Madison?
I don't know. I'm still deciding.
Mine is 1,000% Marriage Story.
I'm letting Bridget go, and then I'll make my decision.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's the one that it's gonna win. I'm just saying, I guess who I think should win.
My thought process is Joker's going to win.
I
Marriage
think
Story
Joker
should win.
probably will win, but I liked Marriage Story a lot. I liked Little Women. I mean, I haven't heard the Star Wars because I haven't seen the new one.
They're always good, though.
Yeah, I mean, they're always good,
That's
though.
kind of the thing.
This is sort of one where, like, any of those could win. I wouldn't be upset.
I think the only one I'd be upset by is 1917. Because I don't fucking remember a single thing about a score in the film.
Yeah.
I didn't
Did
even
they
know
have
there was
music?
They did have
I'm
music.
sure they did.
There was music.
There was
for
definitely,
sure.
like, a singing moment.
Oh my god, we're not even gonna go there.
Was
the
there?
review's over. We're not talking about that movie anymore. I'm done with it. Anyway, move on to the next one.
Okay, great.
Supporting actor. Our boy Shia LaBeouf got fucked. He should have been here, and he
Correct.
should have won.
Absolutely.
I have mixed feelings on Honey
you were
Boy.
robbed.
Not like super mixed. I like it a lot, not as much as you guys. But Shia LaBeouf is the absolute best part of that fucking movie.
Yeah.
So let's
I
go
think it
over
was
who.
really good too.
Let's go over who cheated him. Okay. So Tom Hanks for A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
Choke.
Anthony Hopkins for Two Popes.
Haven't seen, so.
Al Pacino for The Irishman. Joe Pesci for The Irishman. And the guy who's going to win, Brad Pitt for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Brad Pitt.
And that's exactly who should win.
I mean, I don't know.
We got to see shirtless Brad Pitt, and that's the only
Okay, that doesn't make him the
thing
best
I
supporting
need.
actor.
Let's say.
It's the only
I
thing I
kind of
need.
want to go. I also kind of want to say Brad Pitt, but then the other part of me wants to say Joe Pesci.
So the way it's going to work is
I think Al Pacino will actually probably get it.
performers love Hollywood, and they also love Scorsese. So
Right.
the ones that like Scorsese are going to be split between Al Pacino and Joe Pesci. So the other section of Hollywood actors that love this shit, who like Brad Pitt, because Joe Pesci and Al Pacino are going to be split, Brad Pitt's going to win the vote. That's just the scientific way of looking at it.
That's probably true.
But between Joe Pesci and Al Pacino, I think Al Pacino.
Really?
I think Joe Pesci-
all the way.
Joe Pesci.
Really?
Al
Bridget-
Pacino is a
Bridget,
little
quick.
extra.
Which one was Joe Pesci?
I don't know.
Which one was Al Pacino?
I don't know.
Oh,
G-
no.
A
You're on-
guess. A guess on who Al Pacino
You're on a
was,
movie
please,
podcast.
for
You
me.
don't know who Al Pacino is.
That's part of my charm.
It really is. You know what? I'll take that, but please guess.
I'm not
who
gonna
Al
lie, I
Pacino
didn't know
was.
who Al Pacino was until I saw him in this movie. But now I can
Al
at least tell
Pacino-
you who he
Like,
played.
what character did he play?
Alpha.
Good job.
Nice.
I thought she said Alpha for a second, and
did
I was
too.
like, who's that?
I did too.
and then I realized she
Hoffa.
said Hoffa.
Okay, so everybody's pretty much like Brad Pitt.
Yeah, I think Brad Pitt probably will, but I think that Joe Pesci deserves it.
I actually think, before Joe Pesci, Shia LaBeouf, and then even
Well, yeah.
and then even before that, I really love Sterling K. Brown in Waves, but Waves got no love.
Yeah.
No love, and he really was fucking brilliant. You guys haven't seen it yet, but you're gonna love it.
I mean, I know we talked about it and like that both should have been nominated for Best Leading, but I would have liked to see either Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson in that category.
Willem
but-
Dafoe would have been a good pick.
Yeah.
No. Okay, next.
All right, so this one's maybe a bit more clear, but I just want to mention the names because it's going to give a better understanding of things later. So, for international feature film, there's really only two films we're talking about. It's either Parasite or Pain and Glory. I know there's other stuff nominated, but it's one of those two. Reason Pain and Glory is Antonio Banderas is getting a lot of love for his performance in it, but Parasite's going to win. Are we all
Hell
in agreement?
yeah.
Of course.
Now,
Parasite should win.
The snub, The Portrait of a Lady on Fire.
I know. I really,
Haven't
really,
even seen
really
it.
want to see this movie, but I'm sure it's good as hell.
Haven't even seen it. I heard they shot it in 8K just so the colors were deeper.
Right.
That's right. That right away
Wow.
is something to be noted. So I think that was a bit of a snub as well.
I think that's cool for an art movie, like a movie about actual art.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To make sure the colors
And
pop.
also, as Mass would say, it's gay rights. So.
It's gay rights.
Like
Hell
actual,
yeah.
I'm surprised
rights.
that like
Yeah.
I,
That
lost,
one's literally gay
I
rights.
feel like I Lost My Body could have been
Canon.
nominated for that.
I Lost My Body. I guess since it's technically a foreign film, they really try to hold animations away from Best Picture. I think the last one that was nominated was Up in
I
2011.
kind of think that's lame. I don't understand why. Like,
Well, here's the reason that I like about it. And I think Parasite kind of breaks away from this because like there's just no way they could ignore it. But when you nominate an animated feature for Best Picture, and then there's 5 animated features nominated for Best Animated Feature, you know which one's gonna win.
well, that's true.
So it's kind of like a pointless category at that point.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But with Parasite, they couldn't ignore it. You know what
That's
I
a
mean?
foreign film, so.
But that's the same thing. Like with the foreign
well,
film
yeah,
stuff,
yeah. I
we
know
know
what you mean.
Parasite's gonna win because he got nominated for Best Foreign
Right,
Film.
Right.
Okay. Production design. We got The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite. Jojo fucking
Yeah,
Rabbit.
yeah.
Production
I agree.
design. Jojo
Yeah.
goddamn Rabbit. This is their award. If they are passed on it, it's officially a snub and
Yeah.
it's bullshit.
Yeah.
If everything was so great, and if they're gonna honor Wes Anderson's production design every single time, they got to give it to Taika Waititi, who did that level of production
Yeah.
design.
But
Plus
made
made
it
a-
his own.
Yeah, plus made a spin on it for sure.
It was good.
It was almost like a steampunky.
Yeah, it was
Weird.
really fun.
I loved it, and
It was like fun and funky, and it just fit the tone of that movie so well.
and the shoes alone.
Yeah.
That's what the red shoes in contrast with the greens, and then also
Yeah.
the dark winter, it with the like the more dour colors with the bright
Right.
colors. They were great. Now I know that's also costume design, but it
Yeah.
has everything to do with production design too.
Yeah.
And then I'd say after that would be Once Upon a Time.
Absolutely, yeah. Once
Yeah.
Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Because they
That movie
fucking
looked
nailed
really
that.
good too.
And then, to be honest with you, actually, I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood for me is tied with 1917
What?
because the production design is great. I mean, it's
So
very
many-
fucking believable
so
looking.
many
Yeah.
countless bodies for.
That has nothing to do with production design. Well, it does, but
It
but
does.
Yeah.
but with that part of it, that wasn't the issue. All the bodies looked real.
Yeah.
All the costumes were believable.
Right.
Ugh.
all those trenches.
Yeah. So that I could see
Yeah.
if that wins, I'm not going to be so fucking upset.
Yeah.
What I find funny, that 1917 wasn't nominated for editing, and it's supposed to be a one shot.
Right.
That's
How
really
fucking
funny.
dumb is that?
That's so funny. That's because it wasn't good.
Okay, so pretty much Jojo Rabbit's the one we want, and we think it's probably going to be that, or maybe 1917, or maybe even Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, because those Hollywood people love themselves.
Yeah, I mean, all three are good. I
Parasite,
like Jojo Rabbit best.
Parasite in another year would do really great. I know it's nominated here, but this is not
Yeah.
the award for it.
Yeah.
And then Irishman, I thought looked fucking boring.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're on to editing. So we got Ford v Ferrari. Haven't seen it. Heard it's great editing. Heard it's very like fun and action movie type. And
Yeah, the people I know who have seen Ford v Ferrari did seem to like it a lot.
they're saying it's kind of like old school, like kind of the way that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is. It's like an old school blockbuster movie that's not about superheroes.
Wow.
Which I could get behind.
Yeah, I mean, I do want to see it.
We'll eventually see it.
Yeah, we'll see it.
The Irishman. No. They
No.
should have edited a fucking hour out of it. So it should not win editing.
Yeah.
Also, like, does the editing category include, like, the CGI type stuff, too?
No,
Or is that separate?
that's a separate
like
thing. That's special effects.
That's effects. Okay. But yeah, they should have taken, like, they should have cut a lot from that movie.
Jojo Rabbit, my personal favorite for this one too.
I want to know what else there is.
And then there's Joker, a little tough.
Eh.
Parasite, also not incredible.
I mean, I like the editing in Parasite,
I
but I think,
agree, but also
But it's
I think that
it's like a
he has
supplement to
stronger-
the story. It's not like a main thing.
yeah. I
Yeah,
feel like
it's
in
stronger
Jojo Rabbit, like,
suits.
the editing, like,
Why
made it feel
elsewhere.
so, like, tight and really,
Yeah.
like, helped with the tone.
and it was purposeful too.
Right.
The editing in Jojo Rabbit the movie wouldn't have been effective without it. That's the
Right.
one thing
right.
that all the other films don't have. Where it played into the way the movie was read.
Yeah. Kind of feel like Uncut Gems should have gotten an editing nomination, but
Uncut Gems should be all over this.
yeah. I mean,
Uncut
agree.
Gems, the score, the fucking score,
the
baby.
score was
That
so
score
good, dude.
was
Yeah.
so good. That synth score is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
The editing.
Like, I beg you people just to let synth into your lives.
The editing of... We went from a man's asshole to the film. You know what I
So
mean?
good.
I liked that.
And the shot in that... we're not... we can't.
We've already talked
We
about
already
it.
did it.
We can't
but-
die on this hill. Cinematography. The Irishman. Joker. This is going to piss off Franny. The Lighthouse.
The fuck?
1917. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
My vote is for The Lighthouse.
I agree.
My vote is for The Lighthouse. The
Why?
winner is going to be Once Upon a Time in Hollywood
Why
or
isn't
1917.
Uncut
I agree.
Gems in this? Why isn't
Well, that's a
Uncut
good question.
Gems
Because
in
if Uncut
this?
Gems was in it, then I would say it should be Uncut Gems.
I agree.
Honestly, I disagree with Uncut Gems. I think it's good cinematography, but I think that for sure on this list, The Lighthouse is actually better. It does more for the film in
Yeah,
itself.
The Lighthouse's cinematography is really important, and I really like it.
The Lighthouse
I
does
really like
nothing.
that.
But it's gonna be either Once Upon a Time in Hollywood or it's gonna be 1917.
I think it'll probably be Once Upon a Time.
I think it's gonna be 1917. But we'll
Fair
see.
enough. We'll see.
Animated feature. This is one I'm excited about because the two that I have been talking about all this time did get nominated when I thought there was no fucking way. So, How to Train Your Dragon 3, The Hidden World. I Lost My Body. Hell yeah, one of the ones I was talking about. Great French animated film. Absolutely fantastic. Klaus, another fucking great animated feature. It's a Christmas themed one. It's awesome. Missing Link. I heard good stuff about it. I like that animated. I like that studio. A lot of people don't like how kind of off-putting the animation is, but it seems to have done pretty well for itself. And Toy Story 4.
I really, really liked I Lost My Body.
Me too.
And so
So
I would like to
good,
see
isn't
that
it?
win. It made me cry a little.
You have to watch Klaus though.
I
before
don't
you-
I
think-
know, I haven't seen Klaus yet.
I
so.
can't have an
Me
opinion
either.
because I've seen none of these.
You've seen Toy. No, you haven't. You haven't seen any.
I haven't seen any of them.
Wow, not a single one.
Yep. So my
I'll say this
opinion-
right off the bat. I haven't seen all of these either.
I
haven't-
also have not.
I have not seen Toy Story 4, which is crazy.
I don't think I have either. I also don't think I've seen the How to Train Your Dragon movie.
I haven't seen Missing
haven't
Link.
I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen How to Train Your Dragon, but I will say this. How to Train Your Dragon, I've seen the series before. I've heard that this is similar to the rest of the series. And by that note, I think Frozen 2 maybe have been snubbed a little bit. And that's coming from a person who does not think the whole category should be Pixar like it is. But facts are facts. Frozen 2 was fucking gorgeous. If you haven't seen it, it is a amazing. Franny, back me up on this. Frozen 2 looks fucking amazing.
Oh, it does.
It's
Why isn't
beautiful.
it in that?
It's not. It's not here.
That makes no sense to me.
I think it was the crowd, the Pixar fans were like split on it, and Toy Story 4 snuck
Yeah.
in, and Frozen 2 didn't.
That makes
Yeah.
no sense.
So I'm for I Lost My Body, but we can't
too.
we can't
I
give
really liked
two. We'll watch Klaus and then we'll reconnect on that and figure
Yeah.
that out.
Yeah.
Original song. I can't let you throw yourself away. Toy Story 4. Haven't heard it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna Love Me Again. Rocket Man. Have heard it. Loved Rocket Man. Loved the song.
I didn't get a chance to see Rocket Man, but I have heard the song.
It's a good song and it's a pretty good film.
I really like Elton John, so I do want to see Rocket Man. I just never got around to it.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Then there is I'm Standing With You from Breakthrough. Don't know the movie. Don't know the song. But if it's in this list, it's got to be at least a pretty decent song.
Right.
So I'll dig into that. Another Pixar one, which is Into the Unknown from Frozen 2. That will win.
Yes.
The Frozen movie, last time with Let It Go, and also the Frozen franchise, I guess you could call it, even though there's only 2 movies.
Right.
All the songs are incredibly popular.
Yeah.
And Into the Unknown is blown the fuck up.
Yeah.
So it's going to be that. But then the last option is Stand Up from Harriet. I didn't see Harriet.
Me neither.
I know that What's-Her-Face is nominated for Best Actress from it, so I know it's got a decent performance. I'll have to dig into the music to find out for sure. Adapted screenplay. So this is from previous source material
Right.
into the screenplay. I'm saying that for people who don't know. So The Irishman, which is from the I Heard You Paint Houses book, adapted into the film.
Bridget, I heard you paint houses.
We were talking about that earlier.
We went to a restaurant earlier, and it was a
Oh.
German restaurant, and Bridget called it Hoffa House.
Oh,
And
yes.
I said, Jimmy Hoffa's house? You painted Jimmy Hoffa's house? Did you kill Jimmy Hoffa? Bridget, did you kill Jimmy Hoffa?
No,
I heard you Hoffa House.
I do not recall. Anyway, I plead the fifth.
Bridget killed Jimmy Hoffa. Confirmed.
So Jojo Rabbit, based on Jojo Rabbit, a book that is not at all comical, but is kind of the same. And there's Joker. I wonder what source material that's based on. Almost like 75, almost 100 years old or some shit like that.
Is it the source material for Joker was actually a little known movie called King of Comedy
And Taxi Driver.
I don't know if you've heard of those, but
King of Taxis.
King of Taxis.
That was the working title, and they changed to Joker. Yeah.
Comedy Driver.
Comedy Driver. That's just when Adam Driver's on SNL. He's the comedy driver.
He was on SNL.
He's fucking funny.
Your sister texted me about it because that's her crush.
You're giving out my sister's personal information on a public podcast. What if she doesn't want to be doxxed like that?
Nobody knows who she is.
They know me. They know who she is.
Whatever.
Sorry.
I'm totally kidding.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. I couldn't catch the vibe.
I was playing around.
You're
tired
very
to get the
tired.
vibes.
That's why.
Oh, whew. I was like,
Okay.
oh my gosh, pause, cut, paste.
Little Women, based off of the book.
Little Women.
Little Women. I think just hearing what you guys have been talking about,
Little Women.
this will probably be the one.
Little Women.
Hell
Gay
yeah, I'm
Joe
excited.
March 2020.
And I think,
2019.
and then the other one's Two Popes. Two Popes is not going to get it for an adapted screenplay. Two Popes is all about performances. If anything's going to win from Two Popes, it's going to be that. Original screenplay. Now, this is the one that I'm the most excited for.
Yeah.
So we got Knives Out. Fuck yeah. I love the fact that Knives Out made it in somewhere. We need more whodunits. I think that that's awesome. It shouldn't win, but it definitely deserved to be noticed. Mm-hmm. Marriage Story. I fucking love Marriage Story. I love the story of it. I don't think it's the best original screenplay, though. 1917. No. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Honestly,
Yes.
Yeah.
still no for me because Parasite
Oh,
is
Parasite's
the best screenplay that was original this year. By
I
far.
agree.
Subverted expectations. I know that's kind of a meme, but it really did. And it also really brought Korean filmmaking into the mainstream. And now I feel like the borders are kind of open as far as like digesting film. This film was written so well that people who didn't like subtitled films were like, man, that was a great story.
Like me.
Exactly.
I don't know, man. I really liked Parasite. I really liked the screenplay. But for me, I just love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I think it's my little like Tarantino heart.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I think the issue with it for me with screenplay. For one, Tarantino always wins screenplay. And so
I know, but that's because he's good at it, dude.
It's very possible he'll win. But I argue that the film story was hardly the point.
Yeah, but
It
that's
was
what made
about-
it good. Like,
but-
that's
but-
what made the screenplay good.
But the screenplay wasn't the best part. It was the characters. And I get that that's part of the screenplay. But when we're talking about a written screenplay, it shouldn't just be, oh, these people's performances and the fact that they kind of got to like to chew the scenery and have like a really cool Tarantino moment. Whereas Parasite, I think there's no recognition from an audience when they went to go see it. They don't know these people in America. Americans don't know these actors.
yeah.
But the story was so fucking great. It was like Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, directed by Tarantino himself. And the best part is we didn't need that Hollywood pull, and it had a really fucking incredible story, minus the amazing, like even without the amazing performances.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I just really liked the Once Upon a Time screenplay. It just, like, gave me the things that I miss sometimes in movies.
It's your fanboy.
It's my fanboy. And, you know, I miss a lot of movies that I see lately are not fun. And, like, it gave me fun. And it was just, like, a fun story. I like the dialogue. I like a lot of it. And so I liked that about it. There was just, like...
I argue that Parasite did the same stuff, but it's a matter of opinion at this point.
I mean, yeah, I just liked the feel of it. And it's really cool because the story is not really what's driving Once Upon a Time in Hollywood along. But you still, like, get to know who these characters are through this screenplay, through their dialogue, through the way that they talk to each other. And so for that reason, I like Once Upon a Time a lot. Especially because I have this little seedling of hope that's living in my heart that Parasite will win Best Picture.
I don't think it will, but I'd love it to.
But I have a little bit of hope in my old cynical soul.
We'll get the Best Picture.
And so I want Parasite to win Best Picture. I think that it could, and for that reason, I want Once Upon a Time in Hollywood to take home screenplay.
Okay. You guys ready to move on to the next one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leading actor. Antonio Banderas for Pain and Glory.
I didn't
Huge
see it.
shock. No one saw that coming. It's a foreign film he did. It didn't really do like much business. But I do hear that his performance is great. But a lot of people point at this particular performance being the snub on Adam Sandler. I think that Adam Sandler should have been in this category, should have won this category, and it's honestly, it wouldn't have been a contest in my brain. But the leftover people, the people who snubbed him, Leonardo DiCaprio for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I'm sorry, the performance wasn't that, they didn't stick out that much to me, especially for Leo. And then we got Adam Driver, who did a really great job for Marriage Story. Then we have Joaquin Phoenix, the guy who I think is going to win and should win out of the people available, for Joker. And then Jonathan Pryce for The Two Popes. I think we're going to end this soon because Franny's falling asleep right here.
I'm not falling asleep.
I think probably
She always just did not. You sound like a crazy person.
I think probably
I'm just
Joaquin.
tired.
It would be my choice.
Joaquin's the guy. I don't think there's really much.
Yeah,
of an
I
argument
wish
to
Adam
say, well,
Sandler was
Yeah.
nominated because I would pick him. I wish that either Robert Pattinson or Willem Dafoe would have gotten a nomination again.
I think Adam Driver would be my choice number 2.
I loved him.
I liked
this
Adam
year.
Driver.
He was so good.
But, we got it.
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix. Okay. So, leading actress. Cynthia Erivo. I think is how you pronounce it, for Harriet.
I haven't seen Harriet.
Scarlett Johansson for Marriage Story. Was it
Saoirse.
Saoirse Ronan. I'll get it eventually. Saoirse Ronan for Little Women.
I just got some Irish in me.
Charlize Theron for Bombshell, and Renee Zellweger for the winner of this Oscar, because people have been talking about it for months.
Someone was literally telling me to watch Judy today.
Yeah, she's gonna win. There's not even a reason to talk about it.
What? Why?
I really
Because-
would like to see Judy. Actually, I hear it's
I don't
great.
know what it's about.
Whenever a
It's about
performer-
Judy Garland. We were talking about it with that guy earlier.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
Whenever a performer performs somebody who is famous in Hollywood, they win. They win. It's the way Hollywood voters work.
Damn.
So if Scarlett Johansson wants a chance at the Oscar, it's going to be in Best Supporting, because Renee Zellweger has basically already been mailed the trophy. Other than Parasite, this is the most certain lock for the win.
I think.
Yeah, I do. I really do.
I wish that Saoirse Ronan would get it because I really liked her in Little Women. I thought she did a great job. I thought that you can just see also sort of the ways that she's grown as an actress since she did Lady Bird, and it's kind of cool.
I mean, I didn't see Lady Bird, but I also agree. I feel like she should.
But
And she made me cry literally.
Me too.
the one that I would want personally would be Scarlett Johansson. But that's because I haven't seen everything yet. But Renee Zellweger, she will win.
I feel like my headphones are not plugged in. I'm sorry.
For directing,
Anything now?
Oh yeah, that's much better. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I think we're good. I'm sorry.
that's all good. Okay, so for directing, Martin Scorsese, The Irishman, Todd Phillips, Joker, Sam Mendes, 1917, Quentin Tarantino for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Bong Joon-ho for Parasite. There are only 2 people, in my opinion, that are actually being considered, and the reason why is because Scorsese and Tarantino split a very important vote.
Mm-hmm.
So as a result, it's either Bong Joon-ho or it's Sam Mendes.
I think it will be Sam. I think it
so,
should
too.
be Quesadilla Tortellini.
I think it's going to be Sam, and I think it should be Bong Joon-ho. You say Casey Tortellini?
I said Quesadilla Tortellini.
I think Bong Joon-ho did the best directing this year, my opinion.
I would actually kind of.
Actually, I'm going to take that back. The Safdie brothers, Taika Waititi, they both did better.
True.
But then, Bong Joon-ho.
Yeah, if I had to give it to any person, I would give it to the Safdie brothers. But I also think that Bong Joon-ho did a really good job. I would be fine with it going to either him or Tarantino. I think either would be good.
It will absolutely be Sam
I
Mendes.
feel kind of equally about the direction in both of those movies. They're very different, but I like them both. I also feel like I need to give Once Upon a Time a rewatch, and that might actually make me feel less about it, because it's very exciting for a girl like me to go and see a Tarantino in
It's an
theaters.
event. It's an event.
You're like, all right, we're doing it, woo, you know. And
our
Bridget's
Super
sitting there
Bowl.
like, yeah, that's so true. The Oscars is like our Super Bowl.
It really is.
The Oscars is Super Bowl Sunday for people like us, which is sad, but go on.
All right, guys. It's the big one. It's the big old. The nominees for picture that Hollywood people like the best, but it probably is not the best picture, is Ford v Ferrari, The Irishman. She was falling asleep. Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, which was a huge surprise to a lot of people, and I think it's really cool that it snuck in there.
Mm-hmm.
Marriage Story,
Yeah.
1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite. The
And
thing
the winner
missing.
is La La Land.
The thing. You guys, no, I'm not kidding. Moonlight. You guys got best picture. Yeah, that was a really sad moment. That was
He
really.
was like, "We
upsetting.
lost, by the way. What a fucking dick." I think I really want Parasite to get it.
I want Jojo Rabbit to get it, and it's gonna go to 1917
I want Parasite to get it.
or Joker. Joker is the other.
I think
Yeah.
the Joker probably will win.
Joker
I agree.
has 11 nominations this year. That's
Yeah.
fucking crazy, and really unexpected.
Yeah, but I think actually Bong Joon-ho actually said it best when he said people act like the Oscars is a big deal, but it's not because it's just the United States. You know what I mean? Because that's why we have a foreign film category, because it's really just the United States.
Yeah.
And so he said it. He was like, "It's nice to be nominated, and I'm glad that I was, but honestly, it's not that big of a deal to me." And I think that that's a really good way to look at it, honestly. Like, it sounds like he's being kind of a dick, but he's really not, because he's right.
It's like not the end all be all.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a cool
Yeah.
mentality.
the movie's still good,
On that
even
note,
if it's not on the Oscars.
Yeah.
on that
On
note,
that
guys,
note, fuck the Academy, Uncut Gems, robbed.
agreed.
And Lighthouse put on some fucking pedestal for no reason.
Oh my god,
garbage.
it got
It was
like
nominated for a
one
award.
award nomination.
Doesn't deserve it.
Shut up. I don't want to hear it from you, Sleepy.
Anyway, I think we're good here. Thanks,
I think
guys.
that's about it. Thanks for watching.
Thank you. Like and
listening.
subscribe.
Yeah, bye.
Leave us comments. We love you.